Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to make 2 loaves of soap. Basically, I'm using the same batch and then I'm splitting it to create 2 different soaps that I need to remake anyways. One is the sugar plum soap and the other one is the vetiver, which is the color palette is quite similar. It's black, white, and then one is blue and the other one is purple. While the lye water solution in the oils are cooling down to be at a nice temperature to be able to soap, I'm going to prepare colorants and the fragrance and everything that I need to think about when I'm making this 2 types of batch here, also in terms of what containers will I need to hold what quantity of the respective color, if that makes sense. I also think that I'm going to be making 2 parts of this video. One is like the soap, and then the next one is the next day cutting, stamping, and some further tips for the stamping and cutting and so forth. Now, like I said, I'm going to be using a blue. This one is electric blue. I'm going to leave some links also for everything that I use and also some alternatives for your area. This one is a purple mica. So these are both micas. And then for the white, I'm going to be using titanium dioxide mixed with water. There is also the oil-soluble one. I have the water-soluble one. It's basically up to your own preference or the possibilities that you have. And then what I like to do is to add it to such a bakery bottle or a squeeze bottle, so it makes my workflow easier. Then for the black portion, in my opinion, I always prefer oxides over micas because it gives this very deep and rich color. But what you need to do is you cannot add it directly to the soap, so it needs some pre-mixing with oil beforehand. That's what I'm gonna do because I like when I'm soaping, sometimes soap thickens up quickly, so you don't want to bother and go and prepare things. You want to have everything ready so that you can just go and if needed also improvise. So I just added some lightweight oil into a plastic cup and then I'm just adding the oxide in here to mix it. You can also use a frother if you have one. Mine is broken, so I have to go with what I have. And then always add more in case you need more, then you don't run out of it. I'm not gonna need a lot of black color, but it's always better to have more instead of having to remix it while you're soaping. That's like really, really annoying. Gonna add a little bit more. So this is ready to go. These are the fragrance oil. They're already measured out, and just an interesting thing for those who don't know. You see the difference in color intensity. So you can also tell by how dark a fragrance oil is, how it will discolor your soap. You can see this one here. This is the one that I'm going to use for sugar plum. So I'm obviously not going to color the white portion on this one. This one is much brighter. This is the vetiver. You know, you can also say like more sweet. The more sweeter fragrance oil is, and the more likely it is to discolor due to the vanilla content or vanillin content in the fragrance oil itself. So that's something that you can use like for approximate estimation, so to speak, but also on the website you will see the vanillin content, and that will tell you if the soap will remain as it is or it will discolor a little bit. So always plan when you're making your soap, plan accordingly, like dark colors, you know what I mean. So here we have the oils that are combined. You will find, of course, the recipe down in the description for you to check out. And then I just basically calculated it for these 2 loaf molds here, 5 pounds each. Now, I also did add some sodium lactate to the cooled lye water to make unmolding easier. 38 and 38 exactly for the lye solution. And you always want to be like within 15 degrees approximately. So now what I'm gonna do is add the lye to the oils and then mix it to emulsion, and then I'm gonna split up for the different colors. I'm probably not gonna talk you through because I need to concentrate and I cannot do two things at a time. I don't want to go for a whole bunch just past emulsion or light trace so that I can comfortably soap. So the first one that I'm going to do is the vetiver because I want to go for an in the pot swirl. So I'm going to split now about 2 kilos or 2 liters in here for the sugar plum, and then I'm going to keep this, and out of this one create the 2 accent colors. This one I'm going to put aside because I don't need it right now. Black portion is going to be fairly small, and then the white portion a bit bigger. This big portion is going to be the blue. We start with this, and you can always see if you need more titanium dioxide in this bucket over here. And then black for this smaller one. Okay, going to give it a stick blend, thing with the white. So I don't need to clean this, the stick in between, then blue. This looks more green, so I need to add a little more. Okay, this looks maybe a little green, but it will turn blue by tomorrow. It's just a weird thing about this blue micas. Also, if you are soaping with olive oil, you always have to think about that the green tint of the olive oil is always a little bit, influencing the result. And now for the black. Very good. Now the fragrance oil needs to go in, vetiver fragrance oil. And I'm just gonna mix it in with the spatula because I want to have a rather runny type of in the pot swirl. Smells amazing. Even the color, if it stays like this, I have nothing against it, to be honest with you. Okay, loosen up this white a little bit. Then I'm just gonna pour it a little bit. And a little bit of black. Not much, just a tiny bit. Then I'm gonna give it one mix through with the spatula, just like this. And then I'm gonna pour it into the mold. I'm going to see if I can create a little swirl, not too dramatic, but just to have a little texture on top for pretty. And voila, this is for the first one. So let's move on to the sugar plum. The purple mica goes in here. And then I have titanium dioxide to tone it down a little bit if needed. A little more. Looks pretty. I want this one here, this portion, to be a little bit more on the thick side for the design that I have in mind. Looks good. I'm gonna add the fragrance oil to it and then just mix it with the spatula. Just want to make sure that everything is really nicely incorporated, otherwise you will end up with fragrance pockets, which is not great. Okay, smells amazing too. Okay, so let's see how we're gonna go with the pour. So the first layer is gonna be purple. Like so. I'm going to add a white on top. Then I'm just gonna keep a tiny bit for the decoration on top, not much. And then the black is going to be a bit more in here because the contrast is absolutely amazing. I'm gonna add a little bit more purple on top here to have a different type of layer. And then another. And then keeping a little bit again for the top, the decoration. And now everything can go on top. Okay, now I'm going to attempt a swirl. The way I like to do it is to take any type of spoon or something similar. I have like a long spatula and then I go in and I just do 2 circles, if you want to call it that way. Okay, and then the rest is just adding on top. Start with a darker color if you don't want it to overpower the design. You can always cover it with lighter colors Let's go for a little swirl on top here as well. The biodegradable glitter, just because it is a sugar plum. So to give it a little extra pop, just like so. So here are both of them. I'm gonna give them also a spritz on top with rubbing alcohol to prevent soda ash. Look how it makes the glitter pop. I don't know if you can tell it on camera. And I love this turquoise aquamarine type of very muted mandarin soap as well. So now we're gonna leave it for 24 hours and then we're gonna come back to unmold.